Hi, today is October 27th, Tuesday. I have some inspirational stories from yesterday as well, because I wasn't able to do my daily inspiration video. I know you've been waiting for it, so that'll be included in this one. One story is about Dave Roberts, the guy who's the manager for the LA Dodgers that are in the World Series now, Game 6 coming up tonight. And I love how he's very pragmatic. He's very focused. Seems to be kind of like a Zen master, kind of like a Phil Jackson type. And a couple of days ago, I talked about him being on the sidelines, with his little blue notebook, scribbling of, strategies. And he talked about his breakfast. He has the identical breakfast every day. Oatmeal, brown sugar, 2% milk and some berries, 3 eggs over medium, and a side of bacon and a cup of coffee. And he says he looks forward to it every morning. I love that commitment to excellence, being focused and disciplined. Reminds me of the awesome documentary called Jiro Dreams of Sushi. That's one to check out, where it's the world's greatest sushi chef in Japan and how he has an identical routine every day, sits on the same seat on the bus and all that. Here's one about creativity. I like to think about composition and creativity and how we have different forms, different inspirations for a creative project. And you can apply this in terms of, the idea here is that in astronomy, they're talking about a term called spaghettification. And that happens when you get too close to a black hole and fall in, and the tidal forces stretch and break you like a noodle, then shreds the whole form. So this idea of one element that comes into a bigger element and completely changes it. Article about the CEO for The Gap, who of course, just like a lot of other companies were getting crushed by the pandemic. And she said that, a quote I like here, "The crisis forged the clarity of vision that we have today." So how that pandemic shaped her vision. And that argument of, how do you have a vision, but then a lot of things get in the way and sidetrack you and change it. And so where do you need to make changes in your vision? And where do you need to stay strong and stay committed to that end result? An article by John F. Kerry, who was the former Secretary of State. I just like his writing style. Just like Karl Rove is another guy, like a nice, clean, articulate, sparse writing style that I like to model off of. Here's a woman, obituary. Excuse me. Virginia Mollenkott, who wrote about feminism and spirituality. And she says that if she helps one person with her book have a new sense of self-respect and self-acceptance, then it's worth publishing the book. And I like that focus of having the mission where even if you just help one person, that it's worth it. A book called Looking to Get Lost, Adventures in Music and Writing, by Peter Garalnik. He's a blues fanatic, and I love the early blues. So that inspired me. And it's just, I think it's important to have all these different categories that you have on alert, kind of like you can get a Google alert for different subjects. You should have that too when you're reading the paper or consuming the news each day, or just going through the day for your journal writing at night. Here's a lady. She just gives tap dancing lessons for free at the park. Love that. And she quoted Miles Davis even here and said, "Do not fear mistakes. There are none." And I wonder if that's from, I know that he said something about, you're always only one note away from the right note, but Jenny Herzog, tap dance instructor. Here's a guy who passed away, Jerry Jeff Walker, Texas musician. He wrote the song Mr. Bojangles. So I figured I'd write that, a little outlaw country. Maybe just clipping this out will cause me to listen to a couple of his tracks, and maybe that'll lead to something. This is an interesting show called Absinthe, And that's that green colored liqueur that I know it used to be illegal. I don't know if it still is illegal because it was like a psychotropic thing. But this Las Vegas show is called Absinthe, and it looks very intriguing, you know, with the cool colors and the maroon and the green, and it seems very innovative and creative. Yeah, so that seems interesting. We got a new term now because of the pandemic and Corona, long hauler. And that's when basically, you know, you recover from the disease, but you still have a lot of problems. So I think, you know, we all have to be long haulers in our way, in our purpose, in our mission. The long-term plan, always. Another article about how scientists just discovered a fourth pair of large salivary glands near the nasal cavity. I mean, who would have thought that you could still find stuff in the human body? Never think you know it all. Article about using art to metabolize the pandemic's trauma and grief. And they actually even use biohazard signs as a part of the art. I'm always interested in how we use art to get through difficult times. Here are some new musical artists that I can check out. One of them here looks strange. This is, to me, when I read this, it's probably like a 10% chance that I would actually like any of this stuff, but I'll check it out. This person makes music that's drone or noise-like. So, and here is an article about working from home, strategies to make it better. Focusing on where you have friction at home and trying to resolve those problem areas. And identifying all the stressors and how you can mitigate those stresses. This person is a consultant for workplace issues, and she says it's less about having a best practice and more about knowing yourself and what you need. So looking inward. And lastly, this is an article about stress and how to recharge as the pandemic drags on and getting your fourth wind. And it talks about, well, one suggestion was to get really good winter boots, which seems a little pales in comparison to our problems, but think 2 years ahead. So do some vision work on what's your life going to look like in 2 years, and using that as a source of inspiration. Like this person said, they can vision themselves sitting in a bar with a Guinness and listening to live music as a nice thing to look forward to. And that's what we can be inspired from October 26th and 27th. For more information, visit my website, allthehatswewear.com. I've got a podcast and a YouTube channel and Twitter and Instagram, LinkedIn, all that is on my website. And if you're interested in some life coaching, give me a call. We can set up a time to meet virtually on the phone, and we can talk about how I can help you figure out your goals, clarify your vision, all those important things. Give me a call or text me, 774-230-3928. And my email is scottsnow1234@gmail.com. Take care.